I am live here today with Albany, and we connected through kind of the self-love community, and I just love her energy and what she brings to the world, and I wanted to bring her on into our group here just to share her light and her energy, and if and just get a little bit of insight into her journey, and then also like seeing what she's doing to promote self-love to other women and how she's kind of shining her light that way. So um, it looks like we're live, so that's awesome. and
Hey
so, so
everybody.
Albany, I'll get you to maybe just introduce yourself and who you are and what you do, and then we'll get into some questions.
All right, what's going on, friends? My name is Albany Busby, and I'm a holistic body image coach. And what I do is I help women step back into their bodies and heal from the inside out so they can gain acceptance and kind of show up in their lives exactly as they are and exactly as they're meant to be. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight.
That's awesome. I love like our your and my message is similar in the fact like we're wanting to make sure that women are feeling like they can love themselves at whatever stage their body is in and just accept who they are, right? So I love that.
Yeah, it's so important,
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely. So I have a couple of questions for you, Albany. Just kind of getting to know you a little better for anyone watching, and maybe your journey will inspire someone else to kind of be brave in their journey as well. So, first, our first question is just telling us what self love means to you, kind of as like a whole.
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, so I think self-love for me is just like giving myself endless compassion and forgiveness and space to grow and stretch. It's loving myself in like my darkest moments and my weakest points and um just never giving up on myself. Like that is ultimate self love. It's really the acceptance of allowing myself the space I need in any moment and loving myself through it, loving myself and believing in myself enough to know I'm going to make it through.
Yeah,
That's something I didn't always feel in my journey. So it's really
absolutely.
important.
I think it's so important to know that we all fail. We all have moments where we have low points and high points, and
Yeah,
it's to give yourself that grace to love yourself through whatever those that road is, right? Um,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
easy to get into that mindset of like, oh well, shit, it's not going well for me, so I might as well just give up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
throw in the towel
yeah,
or just like beat myself up for being
yeah,
human, like
yeah.
for being a human being,
I know.
and that self-love, it unboxes you, it
Yeah,
allows you space to grow from whatever point you're at. And
yeah.
yeah, that's been such a great realization in my journey, that I'm not stuck in a moment. So
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. So going a little bit deeper into your own journey, like what do
yeah.
the things that you currently love about yourself? So if you think about yourself right now, exactly as you are in this moment, uh, let us know what you love.
Everything. Y'all hear me? Every single flipping thing. No, seriously.
I love it.
I I have worked. Like, my journey has been long and treacherous and
Yeah.
messy. So there's not a day that goes by that I don't. I have not. I've earned, right. Like I have worked so hard to earn the right to love every damn thing about me,
Oh,
and
I love that so
even
much.
the things that I don't like. I love because they are part of who I'm supposed to be in this moment.
Yeah.
And I honor them because they're teaching me something. I'm learning from them. I'm growing from them. So, like, if I were to like really be honest, I'm in my 40s, and in this space of my life, I love like all of me.
I
I
love
like
that
my
so
hair,
much.
I like my style, my skin, my life.
Yep.
Now I don't like everything, but I love every single
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
I love that. And I think
yeah,
it's so inspiring to like even you saying that like inspires me so much because I think that if we look back on our journeys of like where we used to be and where you are now, like just the power that we have with our mindset and how we're showing up for ourselves and how we're loving on ourselves and that
yeah.
and it gives hope to the people who might not be there yet to know like hey, I can get there, man. Like I can love every piece of me if I do the work and I like take charge of my own life and accept me as I am. And like, I think that's amazing. So, Yay!
And I just want to say it's like so important. I was actually talking to a client and she was like, "You're so confident. You just kind of like show up in this like strong presence." And I said to her, I hate like confidence, that word, self esteem. I'm not those things. What I am is sure of the love and compassion that I have for my humanity
Yeah,
and the willingness to stretch myself and grow. And through that work, right?
yeah,
Through that,
yeah,
that confidence you see is because there's just like this
yeah,
foundation of like pure love,
yeah,
and that is unshakable. And that's the confidence, like no matter what I'm going through, that is what you feel and you see from me, and anyone can have it. I didn't magically like become this way.
yes,
You, like you said, it's the work, it's the mindset work, it's the loving on yourself, it's the emotionality, it's all of it. It's like your whole body healing. So
yeah, absolutely. I love that. So good. So my next question for you is that how do you currently love yourself? So tell us maybe a little bit about your self-love routine or your practices that either you have done in the past that has kind of gotten you to this point in your life, or just like your day things that you do as like as consistent to maybe inspire someone else to be like, hey, this works well for her. I want to try this, right?
yeah. First of all, I'm gonna steal all your questions, Martina, because they are so good. I am
Hey, of
every
course you
single
can.
one. Um, but so my friend and another coach and friend, she coined the term, instead of self care, she's like, it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's soul care.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
I loved that when she said it. I was like, girl, if you don't take that, I'm just gonna get with it real quick.
Yeah.
And that's really what I do. So like, I love the idea of self-care and like the bubble baths and treating yourself, but I think it has to go deeper, especially
Yes.
if you're in this like personal growth journey. And so for me, there are non-negotiables in my life that no matter what I'm going through, no matter how hard things are, it's like brushing my teeth. It's like combing my hair. There are things that are a part of my life that if I don't have them, I know that my life could look very different and I'm not willing to give that up. So it's things like meditation.
Yeah.
Mindfulness is huge for me. So every single day, I spend 20 minutes. For me, I have to do it at the beginning of my day because I have a family. And once we get going, it's really difficult. But I spend 20 minutes at least a day sitting with myself, meditating, or doing breath work, non negotiable.
Yeah.
I journal. And if I'm feeling lazy, like I love a journal, and I know you do too. And
Yes.
I know it's part of your work. For me, it's a living record of my life. So
Yeah.
when I'm feeling something, if I can put it in a journal, I can always go back to it, and then reflecting helps me be like, see my growth in real time,
Yeah.
or see what I'm going through and go back to it and kind of think through when I'm out of an emotional state. So that's really big. And I recommend that if you hate writing, which a lot of people
Yep.
do,
Yep.
you can video journal. Make a video of yourself
That's
and
cool.
document it, or draw, like creative journaling. It doesn't have to be words. So those two things are really big. And then the third thing that is a non-negotiable for me is healthy habits. And for me, like that is moving. So I fully believe that moving your body, especially I have an autoimmune disease, but moving my body helps me with my anxiety, stress levels, and I have to do it every day. So whether
Yep.
I'm walking, stretching, yoga, Zumba, I love to dance a dance party in my living room with my
Yep.
son. I have to do it, right? It keeps me balanced. And I would suggest for other people, whatever your healthy habits are for you and your body, you do them and you make them a part of your life. So for
Yeah.
me, I would say those three things are huge.
Yeah, and I love how you keep describing them as like a non-negotiable because it's so
Mhm.
important for people to realize that you really have to it's hard work. Like it's hard work to put yourself first and like
Yeah.
take those little moments to make sure that you're taking care of your mind and body and soul and like all those things to keep yourself in check, right? Because it's so easy
Yeah.
to not do those things and get busy with being a mom and a wife and all these other things, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I love how it's like a non-negotiable that it has to be like this is happening for me, right? Yeah. So
and
that's
and
awesome.
that was the really big click for me, because we are able to like spend money on doing this, and we're able to get time to watch our favorite show or sit on social media and scroll,
Yeah.
or have, text our friends or look up magazines. Like, these things come so easy to us,
Yeah.
and they were habits you create from somewhere in some place. So this soul care that I needed to do to help myself grow wasn't a habit, and it was really hard to be consistent. So when it clicked for me that if I make them part of the things I don't even think about in my life and do, that eventually they will be things I don't think about. So when I wake up, it's like, this is just what I do,
Yeah.
and like I don't even think about it. It's like all the other things in my life, and I you make time for that. Ooh, and there was one more thing, is accountability. So for
Oh yeah.
me, I couldn't have done this journey alone. I had to have accountability, like minded people, putting myself around like minded people who would encourage me to get to where I needed to go.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, I would say like that was huge on my journey. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that's such a
Mhm.
good point too. Having like-minded, like finding your tribe of people that are going to help you through whatever obstacles you come across, which we always come across obstacles, but um
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
having your people is so important. It's life-changing for sure. Yeah, that's
it
awesome.
is. Yeah. And not everybody's meant for you. So you
No.
find your people. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Not
exactly.
everyone's meant for
Yeah.
your story. It just
Yep.
is what it is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so another question for you. This one is kind of like, um, what do you need to be more at peace with yourself? So, is there something kind of tugging on your heart that you feel like that you maybe need to work on a little more in your journey, or things that um, like whether it be, what do I have here? Like, either looking at your self care practices or like your soul practices and being like, hey, I really need to step my game up in this area, or do you feel content? So where do you feel like do you feel pretty whole, or where are you at?
So, I feel okay now, but I think that's this beautiful thing about life, is like you don't know what tomorrow will bring.
Yeah,
Last week I had a total mom meltdown with my son who didn't want to do his homework,
yeah,
and that brought up a lot of triggers from my trauma in my childhood, and I thought that was like good until it wasn't good, and then I knew I needed work there. So I've
yeah,
been doing that work, to kind of go back and reparent, and kind of like show myself some love and compassion that I thought I was good on. And so, I just kind of like am in a space of a moment, and today is a really easy day. And
yeah,
so tomorrow, if I get triggered, there's my work,
yes,
because I just think like you're never done growing. I'm just in a different I'm just at a different place of the journey, right? And
yes,
then
yeah,
someone's a little further along than me, and I'm a little further along than someone else, and that's the point.
yeah,
So, um,
yeah,
yeah, I just think it's a forever life lesson. I'm forever learning, right? Forever the
absolutely,
student.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, and we can think in our mindset of like, okay, I just have to achieve this and then I'm going to be, I'll have all the self-love I need, but it is like it's a continuing, you have to put the work in and the dedication and every there, like you said, like things come up and you're like, hey, I got to pay some attention to that. That's like really triggering me, right? The inner
yeah,
child work is huge. Like a friend and I were just talking about that today on your inner child stuff. Like so much of our foundation of who we are now is based upon our childhood, right? So it's also
yeah.
healing that part of our lives too, right? So much
And
work to
really
do.
paying. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to get myself. There you go. Sorry that I'm switching
That's
up, but
okay.
yeah, and really being in touch with that, like
Yeah,
recognizing where your work is. And for me, that is really important, that we're always going to be triggered and we're always growing. As much as I love myself, I have hard days.
yeah,
I am frustrated as a parent. I am frustrated as a partner in work. And when those things creep up, I just am like, that's the work
yeah,
today. Here
yeah,
we go.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's being like I think a lot of it speaks to like our intuition as we, become, more aware of our bodies and our surroundings and just being more in tune with ourselves too, which is going to help us to get through those obstacles, right? So I love
Like,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
for sure.
All right. So one more question for you. Um,
Yeah.
what do you value about yourself? So things like your traits that make Albany Albany and all that is amazing you.
Ah, thank you so much. Um, I just value, oh my God, everything again. See, you're gonna get me again, right? There's like not one thing I just don't love, but I am really grateful for my grit and my willingness to open myself and be brave enough to step into my purpose and into the person I was meant to be. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
um, there was a time in my life that I did not know that I could feel this way and that life could be this way. And so, yeah, I just really love that about myself. I love like the clarity that I have to know what I'm willing to never go back
Yeah.
to again.
Yeah.
Just
That's awesome.
it feels so good. It feels so free.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah, I can hear that too. And I feel like it's almost like we it's just that reminder to also to other people who may not be there yet to know how freeing and how amazing it feels once you once you do all that work and you get to that other side of like, holy man, like how did I not feel like this before? Like why did I not do the work sooner? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's amazing.
And I think like it's really easy to stay in a place even when we know it's not serving us because we're used to it.
Yeah.
And it's really scary to step out on faith in an unknown. And when you've experienced something for so long, it's like, how do I even know? Like to believe that something else is possible feels so unattainable, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I know because I was there. And you don't know how you're gonna get there. You just know that eventually you wake up and it's like you feel different. And
Yeah.
every day you just keep feeling different.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my God, it is different. Like you're just waiting for the ceiling to cave in and it doesn't cave, and you're like, oh my God, this is the real thing. This was it. This is what they said it was. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, I do have one more question. I said I only had one more, but this one is just kind of it's a really nice closing before we chat about your other stuff you got going on. Um, so kind of looking back on your journey, if you were a person, or if you either this could be advice to yourself or advice to someone starting their journey of self-love and body acceptance and all that stuff, what would be some advice you would give someone, either to yourself or like a younger version of you or someone starting their journey, of what you would tell them?
Yeah. Well, can I share a little bit of my journey? Do you
Absolutely,
mind?
yes, of course, I'd love
Oh,
to.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So for me, like I always struggled with weight, and I thought like I'm just one of the unlucky ones. Like I'm just meant to be in the shadows and to be unhappy and to be ugly because I did not fit what society said was normal. And my parents telling me, well, if I just lost a little bit of weight, I would be, or you're pretty for a big girl, or things like that. And I spent so much time and energy trying to change myself, hoping that I would finally feel joy. And I yo-yo dieted. I tried every diet you could think of. You name it, I did it. And I got really skinny and really in shape. And I was still miserable and
Yeah.
unhappy. And there was still something deep inside me, even when I had a smile on my face,
Mm-hmm.
even when I looked quote unquote good, to what society's standards were, there was something in me saying, you're not enough. You are still hideous. People
Yeah.
can see, you're a fraud. And then I got diagnosed with vitiligo, which is an autoimmune disorder where I lose my pigment. And
Mm-hmm.
as you can see,
Yeah.
I'm spotted. And that was like no more hiding. And I was like, you know what? I really am unlucky. Like the world hates me. Like only 1% of the world has this disease and I'm one of them. And you hate me, like universe, and I'm like, but I couldn't hide my pain. There was no masking it. It was like now everyone could see it. When I stepped at the door, everyone stared at me and you could feel, and I really got depressed and it was a real low for me for a long time. And then it just got to a point of like, what the F? like, is this it? Because I might as well not be here if
Yeah.
this is the life I'm gonna live, And that was the changing point for me of like what I wanted for myself. I was in my 30s. I wanted a family. I wanted children. But I mean, the way that my life was, I didn't see a possibility for it. And I was just so depressed. And I had such anxiety. And when there was a good thing, nothing was really good because even in a good moment, there was somewhere deep inside of me that
Yeah.
felt so much pain and so much hurt and so much shame. And I reached out for help, like I started to use my voice, and a little by little, I was able to get support. And I was able to learn the tools that forever changed my life. And led me here on this very long, hard, uncomfortable, painful journey of self-reflection and growth, and a lot of undoing what society teaches us, what my parents taught me,
Yeah.
um, and relearning new ways to see myself because my vitiligo didn't go away.
Yeah.
My weight hasn't gone away. I've in fact got a beautiful belly sitting right here. But what changed is the way that I saw myself and the way that I loved myself and my thought process around the importance of who I was, on the inside first, which then like shines on the outside.
Yeah.
And once I learned that I didn't have to change a single thing, everything in my life changed. Like everything,
Yeah.
I have a husband, I have a child, I'm happy, I have a career, and like the universe opened its doors for me. But nothing physically about me changed to get it. So
Yeah.
what I would say to somebody else is figure out your why. What do you want for yourself? Even if you don't know how you're going to get there today, even if it feels so scary, if all of that was to go away, what is it that you want for your life? This one life you have, this is it. Once it's done, there's no going back. And every second you waste stuck somewhere is a second you're losing to really embrace this beautiful journey that you can have for yourself. So get clear on your why,
Yeah.
get clear on it, and then start moving in the direction of what you want.
Yeah.
Why do you want it? What do you want and why do you want it? Because it will keep you going even when it feels hard and scary. That why, that thing you want, you'll get there. You'll be
Mhm.
determined enough to keep going.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's
that's it.
beautiful. And
Yeah,
I love that your journey and my journey are similar in the fact that like we both have come with from this place of this self-hate and not knowing
yeah,
what to do with it, and
exactly.
being pretty good at like putting up this front and this mask of like I got my
Yeah,
shit together even though you were like dying inside, right? And so
yeah.
I think that's exactly why we need more of people like you doing the things that you're doing, and
You
like
too.
me and
Yep.
like us,
Yeah.
the world needs more of these people who are willing to put yourself out there and share your journey and in turn help someone with theirs too, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I think
Totally.
it's so powerful. So, thank you. Um,
Oh yeah.
so, a little bit more about Albany. She has a community too that I am in personally, and I love her community too. So, she can kind of describe her community to all you guys, and then I think she has some fun stuff that she's doing in her kind of
Yeah.
business as well. So, I'd love for her to share some of that with us.
All right. Well, my community is called the Body Love Club, and it's on Facebook, and it's for women only, and it's a place to really gain support around your body image and just kind of celebrate yourself. Just know that there are other people out there going through the same struggles as you, and so I'd love anyone to join. You can also find me on my website, albanybusbycoaching.com, and book a one-on-one free call where we can dive deeper into your pain points or your struggles if you feel aligned to talk more with me. And next week, I have a free body love challenge going on in my group where there's going to be giveaways and prizes, daily training, and action steps. And so, anyone who feels aligned or is struggling with body image or just wants to kind of know what do I do, to let go of that body perfection and own the skin I'm in. Well, I gotcha. Show up. That's all you got to do is be there. So it's facebook.com/group/loving body. And that's how you find us, or Albany Busby. And it's there on my page as well.
Yeah.
So I would love anyone who's interested. We're starting on Monday the 5th, April 5th through April 8th.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's going to be
Cool.
amazing.
Yeah, if you want to pop in after we're done here, Albany, you can put all your links and stuff in the comments so people can
Okay,
find them easier. Yeah.
sounds good.
All right, you
This
guys.
has
Well,
been so great.
yeah, it was so good. I love your energy once again, and you're shining so bright. And I just wanted to share you with my group because I love what you're doing. So,
I
um,
appreciate you, Martina. Thank you so much.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions for Albany, she's in our group, so she'll be able to answer questions, or you can connect with her on Facebook. And that was all for our self love Q&A for today. And so we will see you guys next time. And thank you very much, Albany.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Bye
bye,
bye. Thank
guys.
you.